Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss, and today we're going to be really investigating the Derwent Inktense family of products. I want to understand their products, and I have this brand new box of Inktense Paint Pans that I want to open with you, swatch with you, and compare to the Inktense pencils and see if they're the same or do we have different colors going on. I have so many questions. This is going to be a fun video, but before we get started, I want to tell you really quick about our giant giveaway. Check it out, the full set of Derwent Inktense Pencils. This is the first of 2 gifts we're giving away to one lucky winner. This very tin right here belongs to one of you. All you need to do is follow the link in the video description and it will take you to our website. We have tons of different ways to enter. Now, included with this giveaway, we're also going to add in this, the Tritone Workbook. This will help you get all of your pencils into beautiful color order, color schemes. It will help you understand the Inktense line so that you can create beautiful art with your Inktense pencils. Now, this giveaway ends December 24th. That's Christmas Eve, so we don't have a lot of time left to get your entries in. The winner will be announced on Christmas Day via email. Let's now talk about some free downloads. First off, I want to remind you that we have some really fun free swatch charts. Oh, Rose is excited about these swatch charts. She's right here on the side of the camera. These swatch charts will help you organize and collect your Inktense pencils. This is the new 2023 colors that you can collect. There's 28 of them. And then we have all the swatches, all 100 Inktense pencils organized into beautiful swatch chart. And there's even a swatch chart where all 100 are on one page. So if you are collecting and trying to get the most out of your Inktense pencils, come and get these downloads. That will help you out a lot. Now, we're also celebrating the holidays here at Coloring Bliss. We have some Hanukkah coloring pages for you. This one is free for a limited time. So follow the link and come and get this one to celebrate Hanukkah, 8 nights, 8 lights. And then we have a brand new Hanukkah coloring page. Now, how this page works is it's going into the premium library. This premium library has almost 900 different coloring pages and resources in it now. And to get access to that full library, all you need to do is pay $5 a month. You can cancel anytime you want, and you get access to really fun coloring pages like this. There's every holiday, every season, everything you want is there in that fun premium library. Now, also, we're celebrating Christmas, so we have a free download here. This cute little gnome is riding backwards on this reindeer, and he's a free download for a limited time, so follow the link and come and get him. And then we have some additional pages going into our premium library. This cute little teddy bear sitting here. This would be a fun one to color. It's got a very distinct color light source right here. So this one would be a really fun one for you to challenge your light source skills. And then we have this one with a lot of details. If you are a detail colorist, you like using your gel pens or tiny little fine liners, this page is for you. So many adorable little images in this coloring page. And then we have another one here that's going into the premium library. Cute little socks and gifts. This would be a lot of fun to color and hang up and display as part of your decorations this holiday. Okay, let's now get into Inktense Paint Pan sets. So the Derwent Inktense line is actually made up of currently 5 different products. There's a paper that's really expensive. It comes in 3 different sizes. It's between $50 and $60 for this paper.
Oh, wow.
Now there's the pencils, which we're very familiar with around here. We've been doing a lot of fun videos featuring the Inktense pencils, and these are really popular. And in last week's video, I taught 4 different ways to use the pencils. So if you're interested in learning more about that, go check out that video. Now they also have the paint pan palettes, and they have actually, I believe it's 3 different paint palettes you can pick from. There's 2 size 12 and then this 24 set right here that we're going to be opening up. This set right here is currently about $43 for this set right here. And then they have something called the Inktense Blocks. This is all I have for the Inktense Blocks. Years ago, one of our followers named Jill Nelson sent these to me so that I could experience them. Typically they're a full stick like this, and what she did was break them all in half so that she could have half the set and I could have half the set.
That was so nice of her.
Really generous of her. These paint blocks per stick are about $2.34, and for the full set of 72 it's $140. So they're not cheap, but the idea behind these is that you can take this block and you can do large areas with the dry ink, you can do small details, and then you can activate them or leave them dry. So they're really cool. I was hopefully going to compare the blocks to the pencils to the pans today, but the problem is some of my sticks don't have the actual number or name of color on them because she broke them and took half and I got the other half, which I'm not complaining. I'm really glad to have them, but they don't have, all of them don't have the numbers. So that's not going to be able, I can't do that today in this video. Now they also have extra large blocks, and that's the 5th product, and they are quite a bit bigger than these sticks right here. These sticks, like I said, for a set of 72 is $140. The bigger new extra large blocks for a set of 12 is $66. They're really expensive, but you get a whole lot of product, and if you are doing large areas or really big pieces of art, they would be very handy and helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and put those to the side since we're not going to be looking at those today, because our main thing here is to look at the Inktense Paint Pan set and see if the colors in this set match the pencils. Are they all in one color system, or do we have 2 different color systems going on? That's the question I want to answer today with all of you. Now let's take a peek at what we have in here. And these are brand new. I've had them here in my art studio for a few months and just was waiting for our big Derwent giveaway to be able to enjoy them.
It's been like half a year or something.
Yeah, lots of months of having this set. So this is what it looks like. It's a plastic kit and it opens relatively easy. And then inside this kit we have the swatch chart that they include. So this is a really nice little swatch chart. It has color names, but it doesn't have color numbers. And in the Inktense pencil world, we get both. We get names and numbers. So that's where I think it's going to be a little tricky to match up these colors to our pencils and see if it's the same. That swatching is going to be really helpful for that. So we're going to break into this. Ooh, that was really satisfying. Sometimes when you get paint pans like this, they're all individually wrapped like little presents. And I really like unwrapping individual paint pans. It makes me really happy, and it keeps the little pans clean. So like here you can see antique white has a little color contamination on it. So that's my first complaint, I guess, is that we don't have individually wrapped little presents to open. So now when I'm looking at this, it looks like they are divided into 6s. So we can remove a little cup of 6 like this if we want to work just from that. And then the little pans are individual. Like I said, these are called half pans in the paint world. A full pan would be twice as big. and I can't remove them. But you can, if you use up one and you want to replace it, you can. I checked Dick Blick and they have all 24 colors. In fact, they have 27 pan colors. So this doesn't have all of the colors that are possible in the Derwent Inktense Pan world. But I like that they come out in little 6s. I think that would be handy. Maybe you're going on an airplane and you just want to take 6 colors with you instead of this whole entire pan set. So you could pick your 6 most favorite colors and take them with you. Now they also come with a little water brush. I'm going to give this to Steve and have him go fill it up for us. The way this works is there are bristles here for your brush, and then you open up the back end and fill it with water, this little reservoir, and then that you can use this for activating your different colors. So I'll send this with Steve and we'll give this little paintbrush test. Oh, I'll give you that too. There.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
That's really going to annoy me if you can't get one of those pans out.
All right, I'll try again.
I can't be the only one. I just know there's going to be somebody watching too who's like, come on, we got to see what that looks like.
Okay.
So now I'm really curious how easy it would be to, like you said, take 6 with you so you could swap them.
I'm wondering, okay, so part of the problem is the colors pop out, see?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because, that's, they create the paint, cut it up, and stick it in here like this. So that's part of why I was being careful, is I didn't want to lose the little paints.
Or is it that you just pop the little paint block out?
No, the whole pan comes out.
Okay. Well, why don't you work on that, and I'll go get some water.
Okay. Oh, look, I could probably push it from the back. Oh, yeah, that was way easy. Just give it a little push, and out it comes, that whole pan. Okay, so that's how you remove those. And then they just click back in. And the actual paint will settle in as you get it wet and it's sticky with water. It will settle in and hold in. I've also taken a little bit of glue on some of these, not the Derwent ones, but another brand that I bought, and glued them down in so they wouldn't come out. So
did you get it out?
Option. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should have done it with Steve here. Look how easy it was. All I needed to do was flip it over and give it a little push.
Oh, okay.
And out it comes without any the paint, and then
so
the pan.
It's a little fiddly, but that's sure nice and convenient as far as versatility of, like you said.
You could take this cute little 6 with you, and away you go on the plane with your brush. That's a lot smaller of art supplies than this whole entire pan.
Yeah.
Now, it also comes with a little a little sponge where you can clean your brush off. And I never use these. I guess maybe I need to try. But I wonder if we bought the 3 paint pans that we didn't get, we could sit them here, the 3 paint pans, and then have all 27 colors in one kit.
Yeah.
So I think I would have preferred that than having a sponge. Okay, so I think the first thing we do is need to run a time lapse, and I'm going to swatch all the colors. I have my swatch chart already here. This book is one of the swatch books that you can purchase at Coloring Bliss. It's Swatch Bliss Volume 1, and this one I have printed on watercolor paper, so we can see how this water-soluble product does on watercolor paper. All right, let's cue the montage. Alright, before we talk about the swatches, I want to talk about the little water brush here. And it's a decent water brush. It's not leaking. One problem I had with it is it doesn't post. Oh, Rose is interested in it. It doesn't post well at the back. You can't get it to stay on. It's supposed to, but it doesn't stay on, and that's a little bit annoying to me. Let's go to this camera since Rose is really... So it's an average water brush. I wouldn't run out and purchase it. The bristles are all stained now from the Inktense pencils, the pans, but that doesn't matter at all as long as when you wipe it off on your surface it comes out clean. It doesn't matter that those are stained. So that is the story on the water brush that is included. Now let's talk about the colors. Aren't they beautiful? Oh my goodness. I kept saying, ooh, every time I did a new color. They are so pretty. We've got kind of a yellowy green up here and another yellowy green down here. We have your yellows, oranges, reds, all the way through the whole color wheel. Everything is represented here, and then you have some neutrals at the bottom to give you shortcut colors so you don't have to mix these colors to reach these types of colors. Then we have a really nice black and the antique white that is included with a lot of the products in Inktense. Kind of giving me a vintagey vibe. There's a lot of tertiary colors in this color set, which I love, and they're all really strong. So the way you would back these off to get a light pink would be to add a lot more water. That would pull it back, and that poppy red would be a really nice soft pink. Same can be told for all the other colors if you're after a really pastel version of these colors. Just add more water. That's how watercolor works. Alright, so now I have another swatch chart, and this is going to be a little trickier. I'm going to have Steve help me with this. What I did was created 24 squares, 1 square for every color in the paint pan set, and then I tried to see if there was a number that, or the names that correlate with the pencils so that we can have a sherbet yellow in both the Inktense pencil and the Inktense pan and see if they are the same color. So that's what we're going to figure out. I'm going to put Rose on the floor again, and then we'll get this Inktense battle going. Alright, so let's start with sherbet lemon and see if they are the same colors. I'm going to use a brush this time and some water. In fact, I'm going to get some clean water. Our rinse water is looking pretty dirty. I'll be right back. Okay, fresh water so we won't have any contamination, and we'll start with sherbet lemon. And the great thing about these pans is that all of the pigment is activated when you lift it up with a brush, so that when they dry, this line that I just created should be permanent, meaning I can't lift it again if I try to reactivate this line with water. So you have to let that dry for that effect to happen. But in pencil form, when you do sherbet lemon, this is sherbet lemon 0100, anything dry that you're putting on the paper that you don't activate fully can be activated again later when you do your next layer of art. So it's, oh, I just dipped into the pan. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted clean water. And we'll activate this and see if we think sherbet lemon, the pan, is the same as sherbet lemon, the pencil. Very interesting. We're going to let that dry and then we can decide. So I'm going to do the same thing, a line of paint pan and then a line of pencil for each color. Now if there's a star next to the color like with mango, that means that there was a confusion. Either I couldn't find that particular color name, or When I looked it up on Dick Blick, the pan number was different than the pencil number. So that's what these notes are here. So we'll discuss that as we come along. And we can always look back at our other swatches and see if, like, here's our Inktense pencils, so we can match up and try to find the closest match in the pencil line to match the pan line. Okay, so let's do some painting. Okay, so we've got the first set of swatching done, where we have all the logical pencils that go with the names swatched next to the paint pans. Now there are a few that we need to look into the Inktense swatches and see if we can find a match. Like we have bright orange here, and dark plum, and turquoise. And some of them I have hints that might help us, like this is suggested that it might be mineral blue. So let's go ahead and look into some older swatches of Inktense. The first one would be this bright orange. See if we have something that will match.
300 maybe.
300 is our closest, so let's try 300. Well, it's looking good so far. Yeah, that's pretty good of a match to me. All right. So we're going to do that same process now for dark plum, mid ultramarine, turquoise, racing green, kiwi, and burnt yellow ochre. All right, so our exercise of matching a pencil to the pan is complete. We've done the best that we can. There are some imperfect matches and a little confusion. So I think in all, what we've decided is the pans don't necessarily match the pencils, right?
Some better than others.
Some better than others. Like, for instance, Sherbet Lemon. If you look at that one, I would say this one is, it's got a little more green in it. Wouldn't you agree? The Sun Yellow, I think, is a really good match. Yeah. And I tried when I did the swatch to leave a little bit of the dry pencil behind, because it's coming off way more intense straight from the pan, which is exciting if you like the really intense color. When you pull it up off the pan with your wet brush, you're getting some very intense color. So that's really pretty, the Sun Yellow. Mango was one that didn't have an exact match. As far as numbers go, it was a little confusing, but they're still really good. Bright orange, again, we had to match it with tangerine. Cherry, these are both called cherry. This is definitely a tint here. This is the pencil version. This is the pan version. That's what I'm talking about, the intensity of the color coming off of the pan. This is just a more white, a tinted down version of the poppy red, but when you look at the full pigment of the pencil, it matches to that cherry. Okay, poppy red. Again, it's the full pigment versus the pan. It's pretty close, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuchsia, again, I think they did a pretty close job. Dark plum, we had to match match up with dusky purple. And I think those are pretty close to each other. Violet did good. Navy blue is a little off, I think. The pencil to the pan is a little different. And again, here we had to go for lapis blue to match up with the mid ultramarine, and they're just two different colors. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, the one leans more blue-violet.
This one here?
Yeah, the pan.
Yeah.
Well, it's an ultramarine, so they just don't have an ultramarine in their pencils.
Yeah. Bright blue, we had a pencil that matched in name with the pan, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Turquoise we matched up with mineral blue, and I think those two are definitely a beautiful match to each other. Can we just have a minute to say how pretty this turquoise and this burnt yellow ochre look together? And again, this teal green and the red oxide.
Oh yeah, that's funny. They turned out to be
really pretty complementary colors that are have some gray in them and a little white in them, so they're not really vibrant. Just really pretty. Had to say that. Okay, teal green matched up with teal green. They look pretty similar. This one we had to go for a totally different color. We went for charcoal gray to match up with racing green. In my opinion, this color, racing green, is like a mix of charcoal and Ionian. If you put those two together, then you would get that racing green. So not a good match there, but not too bad. Ionian green with Ionian green. Again, I think it's two different colors, but they're pretty similar. When you look at the dark unactivated pencil here with this, it's more similar. Here we have Hooker's green, which I think are two different greens altogether.
That's interesting. So they're both called Hooker's green.
Right, but yet they don't match up perfectly.
They don't match very well.
For kiwi, we ended up picking lime green. There were two options we had to match up with the kiwi, and we thought lime green was the closest. I don't know. Again, it's just two different greens. And then burnt yellow ochre, we matched up with cadmium orange, which the more it dries, the closer it gets. Steve was the one that felt really strongly about that match, and I think he's right. I think the one I wanted would have been not warm enough. Red oxide, again, if you look at the pan and the unactivated pencil, they are very similar, and then this is a tint of the red oxide because there's more water going on there. Natural brown, I think we had to match, there was a natural brown to match it up with, and it's pretty good. Payne's gray, I think this is a more vibrant bluey Payne's gray. Again, it matches the unactivated pencil a little better because this has got more water involved. And then black, I think the pencil black is a little bit warmer. What do you think, Steve? We're being really picky here.
I think they're pretty close. I think it's just the amount of water and the amount of white that's showing up through the ink.
And then for antique white, I used Copic 110, which is their special black. Laid some black down and then put the antique white on top of it. So that's what you're seeing there, why it looks a little ghosty, a little strange, but that's the best way I could swatch out that white so we could see it. And if you look at the unactivated white with the pan, again, I think they're very similar in color. So the story, what's our finished story here? I think the pans are similar, but not exact to the pencils. So if you're an Inktense fan and you want more Inktense colors to go along with your 100 pencils, then I think you need the 24 pans.
I wonder what the 3 extras are.
I just thought that too. There's 3 pans that are not represented here, and I'm not sure what colors they are. It would take some sitting down and doing some serious matching up to figure out which 3 are not involved. If I do that for you, I will put a line up here on the screen right now what the 3 colors are. Okay, so we have 24 beautiful colors. Again, I think the advantage of the Inktense pans is that once we've activated this, we shouldn't be able to reactivate and get more color coming off. Let's give that a test. Oh, fail, big fail.
It's just not long enough, and it's on watercolor paper as well.
Yeah, let's see if I can reactivate this one. Not nearly as much, but I am activating it.
The other side, yeah.
Well, we know for sure I'll be able to activate this because there's dry pigment there that never got wet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So because the idea with the Inktense is that they are permanent once dry. Permanent when dry, which has not always been my experience, as you can see. So I think the next thing I need to do is do some painting with the pans and get a feel for it, because I love working with the pencils. They have so many different ways to use this one pencil. So the pan is much more limited in the way. It's a paint now. We can't draw with it. We can't do some of the other effects where I showed you last week on that mandala what you can do with it. So, yeah.
Sounds to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like if you are a painter, then obviously the pans are going to work well, especially if you have a lot of skill with a brush and you're used to working with pans.
Yeah.
But if you're a colorist and you don't have a lot of experience working with pans, then the pencils, I think, are hands down the choice.
The best way to go, because you can use them like a pan. You would just use your brush and with it being wet, pick up your color and you can paint with it just like you would with a pan. So that gives you a lot of options. Replacing a single pencil is cheaper as well. I believe a single pencil is only $2.10, where a paint pan, half of a paint pan like these here are $4.09, so double the cost. I wish I could do the math to know if there's way more product here in the pan versus in the pencil.
Interesting question. Yeah.
I don't know how to do that math. Maybe there's a mathematician that can measure the pencil and the girth and then measure the you guys get it. It would take a little bit of geometry math to figure that out.
And then the other people who seem like this would fit are those who just love Inktense. You know, if you love the Inktense
like I said, if you're into the Inktense world, then this is worth a purchase. I would definitely purchase it if you're, and then the actual sticks and the blocks, those are really cool too. Although I think again the pencil for a colorist beats those blocks. They're messier. You can't sharpen them like you can a pencil, so you would need specialized tools.
I think once again it comes down to like a fine artist, and if they're like, take a pastel artist who's used to working with sticks.
Yeah.
That's where they would probably like that because they already have the muscle memory and the skill to work with a stick.
Yeah, I put November, but it's December.
The other thing I'm noticing, though, is that if you want just that pure pigment color, really deep and intense right off the bat, then those pans, I mean, you get them, again, you get them with the pencil, too. It's just that the pencil, there seems like there's kind of this sweet spot you'd have to hit to try to get the water, not too much water, but not too little, whereas the pan, it's just boom, as soon as you lay it down, you got that beautiful color.
I'm testing to see if those little paint things stay put where they're supposed to when this is shut. Yep, they do. All right. Oh, and one thing I was going to mention is a paintbrush doesn't fit in here. If I were to be a designer for Derwent, I would tell them to get rid of this slot altogether because it would allow you to put a full-size paintbrush in here, and then that would make this really versatile for carrying around rather than being stuck with a water brush, which I don't adore water brushes. They're great for like if you're sitting in an office and you're doing a little bit of painting or on an airplane. But if you're really going to be using these, you're going to be using a brush. So you might as well make that slot big enough for a brush. But again, we're being picky here. I want to mention that we are not sponsored by Derwent at all. I purchased this product with my own money because I love Inktense and I wanted to look at it with all of you so that we could decide if this is a product we all need or not. Comment below, do you think you need the Derwent Inktense Pans? Is this a product you're going to run out and purchase? I'll put a link to it in the video description in case you are interested in purchasing it. It would be a fun Christmas gift to give yourself. And like I said, please check out the swatch charts as well. We have beautiful swatch books that you can print on a bunch of different kinds of paper, and it makes art life a lot easier. And don't forget about our big giveaway where we're giving away the full set of these beautiful Inktense pencils. And accompanying it is a book to help you use them to their fullest extent. This giveaway ends on December 24th, and the winner will be announced on Christmas Day, December 25th. Good luck, everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye!